All right, this is the Livingston Parish Council Finance Committee meeting. It's Thursday, February 27th, 2020. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Gerald McMorris.
Here.
Mr. Scooter King.
Here.
Mr. Bubba Harris.
Here.
Mr. Jeff Hart.
Here.
All present.
All right, new business. We need to appoint a vice chair. Any nominations?
I nominate Mr. King.
Mr. King, I guess second. Second. Let's call for the vote.
Mr. McMorris.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes,
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
thanks, guys. Appreciate that.
All right, monthly finances, Ms. Jennifer. Mr. Gerald seconded.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
So you have in front of you, nothing new, same documents you're used to seeing. The giant sheet is the historical sales tax, just so you can get an idea of our largest revenue, how we're doing. We are at the point where we have closed out 2019 as far as sales tax collections go, so you can see that we came in over budget, everything's great. The smaller sheet is just a detailed breakdown that someone had once mentioned they wanted to see, be able to see the difference between vehicle registration, actual sales tax on purchases, the incentive from Jubin Crossing and the Bass Pro development. So all of those are broken out on the smaller sheet just for the current year that you can see those.
Yep.
You also have your normal check register that's from the last time we met, which was the first meeting in January, so it's a little longer than it normally is. But the checks are listed from highest to lowest, checks that we've been writing out of the two checking accounts, which are consolidated and utility. If you have any questions about any of those, I can probably answer them, unless it's something detailed, like how far along on a grant are we, which I have to look at my grant spreadsheets to tell you some exact details. But any questions that you have like that during the meeting, I can probably typically answer unless it's something detailed that doesn't stick in my brain.
All right.
Okay.
And then your big packet is your to-date financials. This is the last time that you will see the 19 unless you request them from me until the audit comes out, because the activity for 19 ends typically in February. We've collected the second month holdover of sales taxes, franchise taxes and all that. So this will wrap up 19. These numbers are pretty solid. There will be some adjustments for transfers and stuff that are all budgeted, you know. But next month you will start to see the first month's activity for 2020, because we'll collect the first month of sales tax and all.
Okay.
Do y'all have any questions for me based upon that information right now?
Any questions?
What you looking at yet?
No, but I'm gonna study it.
Well, this is just the whole year to date minus what you said, just a little bit there.
Yes, sir.
Gonna come
And I am
in.
available by phone, cell phone, walk over to the office. I love to talk about the numbers, so
Yeah.
anything you want to know, I could give you this information 1,000 different ways, just depending on what you want to know.
Okay.
So,
And if you would humor me for a second, I'd like to say
Sure.
a small statement. I want to ask y'all to do me a favor. So all of this discussion about procurement has gotten kind of personal for me, because I've had one citizen and an old mentor at my accounting firm contact me and say, "Girl, didn't they teach you any better?" And to which I had to respond, absolutely they did. So we have, right now, 75 open grants. I am administering and Mark is administering 75 grants right now. At any given time, that's about the volume that we have going on.
okay.
Small ones, big ones, medium ones, you know. This year alone, 2019, there were 62 transactions in which we encountered the bid law. Now that ranges from expenses for material and equipment greater than $10,000, in which we need simply 3 quotes. Purchases of materials or equipment greater than $50,000, in which we have to go out for bid. Contracts greater than $150,000 for a public works project, for which we have to go out for bid. RFQ projects, which are like professional services, our accountant and such. So the auditor, when they come in every year for a month and test me, they test every single transaction that qualifies for the public bid law. It doesn't matter what it is, if it qualifies, they test it. They even test things if we spend greater than $100,000 a year with a specific vendor. They make us run a list by vendor. They test everything for that vendor. It's not a random selection. It is every single transaction that meets those specifications they test. And not once since I've been hired here have we had a violation of the bid law.
Yeah, that's a good.
This one.
So I'm a little offended that the information kind of reflects to the public. It makes me feel, based upon the comments I'm getting from the public and my old mentor at the accounting firm, that my department, which does procurement, me and the purchasing agent, has not been doing maybe what we're supposed to be doing, which is why we need this procurement committee. And I don't know the details behind the
Yeah.
procurement. I'm asking y'all to please put the information out to the public that not once have we violated the public bid law.
Yes, ma'am.
We do what we're supposed to do. Mark gets audited also. His is a random selection on the grants, but not once have we ever been in violation of procurement laws.
Okay.
So can y'all please put that information out there, because
Yeah.
it's
Definitely.
hard enough to get sales, it's hard enough to get any tax to pass, be it a fire district, a recreation district, a tax for a school for our babies. I certainly don't want the perception of the public to be that we need this procurement committee because we're not doing something right.
Yeah, no, that's not it at all.
Because
Absolutely
I don't know
not.
that that's the perception. You know, we have a stigma as a government anyway
Right.
of not spending our tax dollars correctly, which is not true in our case. We have gone above and beyond, I feel, since
I agree
I have been
100%.
here to
You're
clean
right.
everything up. So will y'all
Yes,
please
ma'am.
do that for me? It's only personal, but
No, it's not personal. It
It's-
pertains to
it's
every one of
important.
us. It does.
Also.
We'll definitely make sure
Yes.
that's known.
thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we can talk about this some more.
All right, so that's new business, any old business?
I don't think so. Everything's usually
Old business?
straight up.
All right, I'm gonna need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the
Motion by Mr. McMorris, second by Mr. Harris. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
All right.